looking at the numbers, I'm an economist, I see GDP per capita rising inexorably, but I don't see that translated into the very people that help to bring about that GDP per capita. My dad keenly understood a certain set of values. He always taught me the importance of treating everyone the same. So during his funeral, it wasn't just his friends and family that were there, but among the group was the janitor for the building. And that was because my dad was always kind to him. And my dad did not make a distinction between the fact that he was the janitor or he was just one of his other friends. He deeply understood that there were some things that were just more important. And that was some of the greatest lessons I learned in life, far beyond what I learned in many years in university. The last hug I shared with my father prior to his passing, he hugged me and said he was proud of me, and it was one of maybe 4 times in his life that I have seen him cry. He was the one that said, you know, you need to do what you have a passion in doing. And for me, it was economics. And so that's what I did. I applied for PhD programs. I went to a program that was known for its area of specialization, which is international finance. I had learned a certain degree of self-confidence, and that allowed me to then succeed and to do so without feeling that I was entitled to that success. The Mandarin word is 饮水思源. I'm a big believer in remembering the people that brought us here. And I wish to remain deeply loyal to these people, the generations that came, that busted their backs to build the country that we see today. We see gleaming skyscrapers, but these skyscrapers came about because we had sacrifices that came from the people in our past. When I was living abroad and when I would come back a few times a year. I would be in the food court. I would see elderly people, right, clearing the plates. And I was looking at the numbers. I'm an economist. I see GDP per capita rising inexorably, but I don't see that translated into the very people that help to bring about that GDP per capita. And that's what bothers me. These people have already pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. For the elderly, those in their 60s, I don't think a rich nation should leave these people to be clearing dishes. If they want to be working because there is a way to pass the time, that's entirely their prerogative. But if they feel that they need to do this to make ends meet, then I think we have failed as a compassionate society to take care of these people. I'm afraid that class already gets locked in. Well, we are all building the world for the people we leave behind. My daughter has her whole life ahead of her. And what I want to leave behind is a world where I know no matter what station she was born into, she has the same opportunity to succeed.
Never give up when the going gets rough. Hope is everything you need. You are hope.
I always take questions in the best of spirits that I can give it. So how can I better explain myself to allow that person to understand where I'm coming from? The role of policy is to, especially when it comes to policy about how we should proceed as a society, as a country, ultimately what's necessary is an ability to best aggregate the preferences of everyone, right? To do that properly, you need to make sure that everyone has a voice. You need to make sure that that voice then gets aggregated in a way that reflects both the good and the bad of a given policy position. When you see certain politicians being interviewed, they argue that all that the opposition wants to do is to just take the opposite position to whatever was decided and speak up against it. And honestly, that's, in my view, both short-sighted and it undersells the importance of active debate in getting us to the right answer. But at the same time, if something makes sense, if that was the best course of action, we should wholeheartedly support it. If a given policy was good, then we should be willing to say that that policy is good. It is being able to have rational, considered, and healthy debate about the kind of society that we want to see in the future. I think that the Workers' Party has a slate of candidates that are excellent and are more than able to represent that diversity of views that we have in our society. They are the ones that I want to represent me. And that's what I like to see. I like to see candidates and parliamentarians who are able to speak up for my concerns and the concerns of my children in the future.
Always find joy in the smallest of things. That is what we found in you. Oh, 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 you are joy.